sometimes, you see, you would listen to some people talk and they would always say to you that, look, you see the mother-in-law thing, I really depend it and I like my mother-in-law, I not this and me not that. And it would always baffle my mind, like, how could they be in that kind of a situation? And I took the time to think about my own mummy that has passed on now for 1 week. She's gone to be with her maker. And I said to myself that, look here, despite me going through what I'm going through, I really just wanted to do a video to talk about how exciting and, marvelous she was, or is, I should say is, because even though her physical self is no longer here, her spirit and her soul and her teachings and everything still remains with me right here and will remain with me as I take on my journey, just in life. Now, it's amazing. A lot of persons will say to you that girls oftentimes will take up a gentleman who is just like her dad. Finally, in my life, for a number of years now, I can say that, hey, that is true. But I want to talk about the fact that I was thinking about my mother-in-law, and I never really call her my mother-in-law because, to be honest with you, she has never introduced me to anyone as her daughter-in-law. I'm always her daughter, or I am her son's wife. That's always how she introduces me, which is one of the things that I find to be amazing, because not a lot of persons that I know actually can share stories like that to say that that's how their mother-in-law may talk about them. But anyway, let me get back to it. It's just amazing to me when I started reflecting on her soul, her spirit, the embodiment of her as a person, because she's love personified, by the way, and looking at myself and looking at my own journey, that I recognize that there are so many things that I happen to have with her. I'm going to run through as quickly as possible because this is crazy, but it makes perfect sense. So the first thing is that she's a woman of service. And if you know me, you know what that spells for me. Always going above and beyond. It's as if brownies had jinxed me, right? It says lend a hand, being a ranger, being of service, being prepared, do a good deed every day. That's me. That's definitely her. The second thing is that she believes in God. Likewise, I do. The only difference is that we are of separate denomination, because she was a Seventh-day Adventist, and of course I grew up in the Moravian church and slash Methodist when I was a little girl, going to the country, that is. But the truth is, I have visited so many churches, because for me, church is church, as long as you're saying God, right? And interestingly enough, she is one of two Adventists that I know, my grandmother is the other, that really and truly don't get so hung up in the Adventism, is that a word? In the Adventist teachings, that she cannot embrace others who may be of a different denomination. I have got to say that that is one of the many things that I love about her. The third thing, she's an educator. Yours truly is an educator, right? She loves to sing, loves to dance, love to sing, love to dance, love to act. She's an excellent cook. I don't know yet if I'm an excellent cook, but I do know that I absolutely love cooking. Everybody knows that, always trying to make up something and create something. She loves to laugh. And those persons who are very close to me say, you see, she know, you don't want her to start laugh, because when we start laugh, me not done. She has a sense of humor. I do too. Nothing in life is taken oh so seriously. But just like me, when she gets upset, when she get mad and she can talk her piece, if she have to do that for 15-20 minutes straight and tell you the one story over until she gets to that place, she's gonna do that. And guess what? I am the very same in terms of my temperament. It is absolutely amazing. She loves children. Gone to bed. If you ever see her with her grandchildren, man, a sight to behold. And I'm telling you, everybody knows too, that I love children gone to bed. Like, I'm not busy about the tougher around them in the middle, but you see, old people, I say children, give me those people. Those are the ones that I really want to be with, right? And she had a very big quest for life, always desirous of learning more, always learning. I kid you not. In the very same week of her passing, she and I were talking, and she says to me, you know about Fiverr? So I was like, yes, I know about Fiverr. I've used the service before, and she's like, oh, such and such person told me about Fiverr, and I said, here what to do. I wanted to sign me upon it because you know that I love to write, and she's an She is what you call a wordsmith. When it comes to putting a speech together, when it comes to holding that microphone and throwing down and delivering, you better recognize what time it is, because you're bad so. Alright, we don't know say some days I wait man to talk bad pan the writing thing, right? So again, so many similarities that I find where she is concerned, and I love that. I absolutely love the fact that I can say that somebody that I love and I admire and I respect, only after taking a step back and reflecting on her, who she really is as a person, and looking at my own life, did I come to recognize that there was a parallel. And I don't want to talk in the past tense. There is a parallel, and I am absolutely happy for that. Somebody that she doesn't love the phone. Maybe this is where we're different. I love the phone in the sense that I love conversations. She loves conversations. But I love the phone, which means that if you were calling me and you want to have a conversation that's going to last even 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, I'm up for it. I'm never going to say, okay, I got to go. But she will talk with you for a moment. And after she get to that place, it's like later. But she and I, we have had some long conversations though. We have had some lengthy conversations, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 1 hour, 45 minutes. I mean, the only time she and I might talk for minutes, literally minutes, is if we're going to be meeting up somewhere and she may call to tell me that she's at X place or Y place, or she's leaving now, or she's received whatever. That is the only time our conversations seem to have been abridged. But on every other occasion that I can think about, especially if it's a case in which we've actually made that phone call and not just texting via WhatsApp or so, the conversations have always been lengthy. Talk about being outspoken, talk about being blunt, talk about presenting the truth and not being prepared to apologize for the truth. That's her. And I love that. The thing about her is that once you're in her company, you know who you're dealing with, right? I don't know, go around thing. I don't know, foolishness, and you're on eggshells and whatever the case may be. That's not her. You're going to know wholeheartedly, truthfully, if this is a situation in which she is approving of or one in which she is not comfortable with. And she is okay in stating her position on the matter and then stepping back to allow you to make your own decision. But she will declare her hand and make you know, say, look, yeah, man, me not too like what you say over here, sir, what you're doing, But it is your life and you have to choose wisely. You have to do whatever it is that you want to do. One of the things that I really admired about, well, not admired, here I go again with the past tense. I want to remain in the present tense. One of the things that I truly admire about her, though, is how she sets herself up to be open to listen to everybody, all when she knows it's foolishness you're coming to her with. Even when she knows it's lie that you're telling, she will sit in her zone and she will listen to you and she will pick that sense out of nonsense. And I kid you not, she sometimes will sit there and allow you to believe that she actually believes what you are saying. But she knows what time it is. She knows what the truth is, but she's not in the business of just tearing you down or shaming you or whatever. She's wise counsel, very wise counsel. Sometimes I know that there are situations that you feel a particular way about, and she wouldn't necessarily come out in the public's eye to put it out there because she recognizes that that is something that is going to bring discord or it is going to bring mayhem. But one away, when you're having that conversation, she will even call you up and be like, come sit down right here. So we're having a conversation and she's sharing certain things. There's just this one issue that I know was on the table, right? And amazingly, there have been several versions to a particular story. She knows a version, I know a version, others know, I don't know how many versions other people may know, but everybody has a quote unquote version to this story. I have to speak about it. One day, for some strange reason, she and I were together and this entire thing came up. and we sat down and we had a conversation, and I was just saying, well, Mummy, this is what I know about this situation, so whatever the case may be. And she smiles and she says, well, there are three individuals, no lie, she said four individuals who actually know this version to the story. And that's you, that's me, and the offsprings, and God. It was amazing. It was amazing to me that she did that. And she says, listen, I pray about everything, and I ask for the truth, and the truth has come. And this is what the truth is. And not only that, I had one revelation where this is what I picked up on. And in that moment, I was like, oh my God, like, who is this lady though? Because not a lot of persons would know that there are certain things that are being thrown around generally, and they hear, and they just nicely pick up the pieces to say, listen to me, I'm gonna sort this out. Guys, I'll kid you not, the moment I got to a place where I recognized that she and I were on the very same page with the same information, which means that I was not crazy, which means that she was not crazy, which means that the other person involved in the situation was not crazy, and clearly God ain't crazy. That's all that mattered to me, because I figured that the way in which the information was being portrayed would affect her deeply, and also affect somebody else that she loved so deeply, right? So it's just knowing that you're dealing with somebody who never takes something at face value, but on her own merit would engage in this whole process of trying to find out the truth, a truth seeker. I love persons who are, you ever notice that sometimes the side of your nose might just itch you, right? But I love persons who are truth seekers, and that's exactly who Mummy is. Love, 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 love that, because I just saw me stay. I'm not gonna sit here and have you talk a lot of crap and be gullible to whatever it is you're telling me, especially if in hearing this story it doesn't add up. And that has always been who she is, and it didn't matter whether this was for her family or her friends or even a dead stranger. She's always about activating the cranium. She's always about thinking, and thinking deeply, and searching for the truth. And once she finds that truth, it doesn't matter what it is out there that you are going to say to her. She will sit and she will listen to you, but she is holding on to her truth. And I absolutely love that. Talk about her being the life of the party. So, she's a woman of God. She's in her church. But as I said, two Adventists alone, I'm rate, when I say rate to the very ground, when I walk on, my grandmother and Mummy. Church don't hold them down, and their denomination do not hold them down. They're human beings, and they've accepted that. And so let us say that you're getting together and you're gonna have some dinner, or you're gonna go to a little a little shindig, a little get together and thing, and music are playing. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about anything now where you're gonna go on your head top and balance on your eyelash, not that kind of a thing. But let's say you play all two berries and want to tell me one story where one dance can do, big up yourself. Or you wanna play something like cent, 5 cent, 10 cent, dollar, whatever the case may be, or ting-a-ling-a-ling, school bell a ring, them kind of vibe there. Mommy don't necessarily know what going in the song them all the time. Notice I said not all the time, but her music repertoire is wide, and you can understand why, because she had a lot of pieces that she too entered into festivals. So music is just one of them things from all genres that she literally had to know in order to be able to represent on that level. But what I mean is that you come now and you come to this gathering and the music a play, and what I'm saying, music hit you, you feel no pain, and oh yes, you run out and they make a lot of dance floor. Sometimes there's no real dance floor, but Mommy just walk out, yeah man, walk out and do our thing. Life at the party. The party now go on unless Mommy did it. Let's just keep this 100. If Mommy is not there, the party ain't happening. And I love the fact that she just loved life. Another thing that she used to do a lot in the earlier days, and she kind of cut that down after a while, was to travel. So she would travel internationally, and of course she would travel locally, until she started to say to me, I can't take on this traveling thing no more, you know, man. I have done that for so many years, been there, done that. I can't bother with the long journey and the winding road. The furthest she wanted to go to now was Ochi. Don't tell her about Montego Bay, don't tell her about Negril, don't tell her about no other stop beyond Ocho Rios, because it's not gonna happen. But luckily for me, I am still that enthusiast, and I know that sometimes, and I would probably take my little travels and I might post that on WhatsApp. That's Mummy commenting and saying, you know, Seth, me didn't know you ever go, me that did come. And I'm like, you're right, Mummy, you never did ever come, because it is oh so far. And she would, you know, laugh about it or whatever. But I know in the latter part, she would live vicariously through her children and their experiences, as well as it relates to travel and learning about new places and everything like that. So totally, totally love that. Love that, love that, love that. So you know, at the end of the day, there are so many other things that I could talk about where she is concerned, but I am proud. I am really proud to know that I came into her life. Likewise, she came into mine, and we have a common denominator. And the common denominator right there is actually about love. If you're talking about love personified, that would have been my Mummy Daphne. Okay, that's who she is, and that's exactly how I'm going to remember her. And I will always love her, and I will always find ways and means to eulogize her name, because she is indeed a remarkable woman with an indomitable spirit. And I'm saying, long live Daphne Patricia Burke Smith. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, Mummy. Love you. Love you like how I love cook food. Yeah, man. I really and truly love her. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. I you know, it's a flip side. Now you're going to see this 1 week later, but this only came after reflection, as I said, and I am happy to share that with you. And let me tell you something, you know, for those persons who are in relationships now, reach out now. Reach out to your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, your daughter-in-law, your son-in-law. Relationships and family coming together by way of, you know, marriage or whatever the case may be, doesn't always have to be World War III. No war, no need for in the game. You understand? The word is love. And let me tell you, if you are not existing in a situation now where your union is one that is happy because the two families are able to come together in the name of love, I'm going to tell you this, pray for that. Because God can fix it, you know. God can fix it. Pray for that, you know, so that you two can be happy to talk about your in-law the way that I am able to talk about mine. So big up yourselves. Thank you so much for watching this video, and of course I'm gonna see you in another video. Bye guys.